area Olds dealers.
You're watching Channel 5, the Texas News Channel. Now, Jane McGarry, Scott Murray on sports, and meteorologist David Finfrock. Live, this is Texas News 5 at 10.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Jane has the night off. I'm Mike Snyder.
And I'm Cynthia Tinsley. As his public visibility increases, so does a nationwide call for Dallas's Ross Perot to run for president as an independent. And tonight, Perot is closer to naming a running mate. Texas News 5's Bob Serkin joins us now from our newsroom with more on one prominent name being mentioned, Jesse Jackson. It sounds like a political odd couple, Bob.
Very much so. Who would have ever thought the names of Jesse Jackson and Ross Perot being mentioned in the same breath, let alone as presidential running mates? But that possibility is indeed under serious consideration tonight as Perot plots his strategy. Friday, March 13th, Jesse Jackson in Dallas appearing at the Farm Aid concert. But according to sources close to Jackson, there was another purpose to his visit, to meet with Tom Lutz, longtime confidant and lawyer to Ross Perot. Today, following his speech before this Salvation Army luncheon, Perot was grilled about reports that he is considering asking Jackson to join him on an independent ticket should Perot declare for president.
I've had no conversations with Reverend Jackson. I know Reverend Jackson. I had an interesting experience with him at the request of the U.S. government. I watched him go to the Middle East, put his life squarely on the line for a person he didn't know.
Would you like to talk to him more?
Well, we talk from time to time about children, drugs, and education. That's our common interest, other than that one rescue effort.
Would you like to talk to him about running with you if you go for it?
I will not zero in on any one person. I have got to get this resolved quickly.
As strange as it may appear, Jesse Jackson would bring to Perot a precious talent, a tremendous ability to get out the vote and rally discontented, disenfranchised voters around Perot. Now, in certain states, such as Tennessee and Arizona, Perot needs to declare his vice presidential candidate to get on the ballot. But a very close advisor to Perot is urging him to hold up, not declare who his vice president is going to be, instead challenge the law in those states, as did John Anderson in 1982. In fact, the Supreme Court ruled that Anderson could hold up and wait before naming his vice presidential candidate until the other two major parties chose their candidates at the convention. The thinking being behind this is that Ross Perot has enough to do to get out his message, and he doesn't need any excess baggage right now. Mike?
Well, Bob, with Paul Tsongas today suspending his campaign, does Perot stand to gain from all this?
Some political observers say he definitely will gain because he'll pick up a lot of Tsongas's Democratic conservative supporters who are looking for an alternative right now, and they could come over to Perot.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob, for keeping us posted.
While he may have to worry about Perot, Democratic presidential frontrunner Bill Clinton won't have to worry about Paul Tsongas anymore. The former Massachusetts senator quit the presidential race this afternoon, broke, but not broken. Paul Tsongas never changed the whole campaign. He launched his bid for the Democratic presidential nomination a year ago with the very same message he ended with today: economic revival and jobs for the middle class.
I believe the force of our message and our shared survival has caused people all over this country to see a new path.
But it is a path without the former Massachusetts senator. Tsongas took positions he knew were politically risky. In Texas, before getting crushed in the Super Tuesday primary, Tsongas proposed a nickel-a-gallon gasoline tax hike to fight pollution and provide an incentive to conserve energy.
I think the most important thing is that I have a perspective that came from my, brush with death. And that's why I don't take positions that are, this will appeal, therefore I'll take it. I feel very deeply that, my survival is an obligation. Take positions that are responsible to the next generation.
But that message didn't sell in Texas or in the Illinois or Michigan primaries, so Tsongas got out. Democratic frontrunner Bill Clinton says he feels stronger, but still not ready to declare victory yet.
I'm still going to campaign. I still have an opponent in this primary process, and I'm going on as planned.
That other opponent, former California Governor Jerry Brown, likes the prospects one-on-one.
The choice is between business as usual or a real change for the future.
And since he has no more money to campaign, the immediate future for Paul Tsongas is a power broker. His delegates will remain committed through the Democratic National Convention in hopes of influencing the man who is nominated to run against the Republicans. And speaking of the Republicans, tomorrow morning, President Bush will cancel hundreds of projects across this nation. The president says he's trying to prove that Congress is wasteful and unwilling to control the cost of things. And tomorrow is also the deadline that President Bush set for Congress to pass his economic plan. He promises to rake Congress across the coals for refusing to meet his challenge.
Mike, an East Texas congressman listed among the worst abusers in the House bank scandal, now has another problem on his hands. Records show on one occasion when Congressman Charlie Wilson of Lufkin overdrew his account, it was to loan money to his campaign committee. Wilson says he immediately deposited a check from his personal account here in Texas to cover the $10,000 check written on the House account. Well, the House check writing scandal has spread to the House Post Office. After nearly 20 years as House Postmaster, Robert Rota resigned today amid reports that some House members may have cashed checks at the post office. Investigators say the congressman went to the post office after the scandal-plagued House bank closed its doors.
Some tenants in Dallas are angry tonight over plans to move the county health department into their building. The county has purchased 2 buildings in the 2300 block of Stemmons Freeway for the Health and Human Services Department, and some of those already in those buildings claim the move would violate their leasing rights, but Commissioner John Wiley Price disagrees with them.
It's tantamount to a block busting. That's basically what it is. I mean, I move into the neighborhood, you don't like me, therefore you move out.
Commissioner Price says that if they do move out, those tenants, they will be breaking the lease and they will owe the county $1.9 million in owed rent.
The National Gay and Lesbian Task Force says there's a growing climate of hate against homosexuals in this country. The group released its survey of anti-gay violence today in Washington. Hugh Calloway, who lives in Dallas, says he and his Vietnamese lover were brutally attacked by 3 young men in Rivershawn Park 5 months ago. Both were shot. His lover was killed.
They then took turns beating us while calling us queers and faggots and a ton gook.
Calloway says although this crime is clearly a hate crime, Dallas police were reluctant to classify it as such. Dallas police say the attack was prompted by hate, but robbery was also a motive.
Well, tonight, a special kind of help for kids in trouble, and we will take you there live a little bit later.
Also ahead, did archaeologists uncover the greatest biblical link ever